Welcome. Happy Friday. Welcome to the conversation here with Mr. Mike Hawes and Mrs. Liz Hawes. My name is Sean Clifford. I'm the owner operator of Isle of Fitness. And it is a pleasure today to have a conversation with both Mike and Liz to share Mike's journey working with myself at Isle of Fitness, what that kind of looked like at the start, what that experience felt like on program, and what Liz saw and experienced herself as Mike's partner, as Mike's wife during this whole process. It's very exciting for me to talk with Liz, with Mike, of course, love Mike, but Liz as well. This is the first ever time I've talked with the partner of an Isle of Fitness client, and I call my clients partners. If you're watching this for the first time on YouTube or something, my name is Sean. I am a former obese, exhausted, hopeless feeling dad that had put on 40 pounds in 2.5 years. I hit a rock bottom. I couldn't take living how I was living anymore. And I decided to do something about it. After 18 months of kind of scrambling around in the dark, I lost 35 pounds. And on the other side of that, I thought, okay, that wasn't easy, but it was simple. And I thought I could help other men and women do the same. Got certified as a NASM personal trainer, started at Isle of Fitness, and in the last kind of 4 years have coached around 260 men and women and around 164 dads to date. My primary focus at Isle of Fitness is dads that are carrying 40 pounds plus, but I coach men and women, non-dads alike, when it is a good fit. And delighted that Mike is one of those partners that it was just a fantastic fit. And I'm going to ask him a bit about that in a second, about what stood out to me as the guy that was focused on helping dads, but we'll get into that. But anyway, just wanted to say welcome officially to Mike and Liz. Thank you so much for joining the conversation today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Fantastic to be here and appreciate your time, especially at the end of a busy, long week. Mike, let's jump in here. I would love to know a little bit about yourself and what life was feeling like with respect to your health, your weight, your fitness in this area towards the kind of the end of 2024, mate.
I was not in a great spot. As we talked about when we first interviewed, I was seriously obese, over 250 pounds. I'm at 5'8", so I'm clinically obese at that point, very, very overweight. And it sneaks up on you. You don't realize how bad it is. Mm-hmm. And as I look back on pictures from that point, I realized, wow, I was really unhealthy, not a lot of energy. It felt good to sit and not move.
Yep.
Food was my friend, kind of solved the world's problems in a way, and it shouldn't have. So I've taken on some better practices now, thanks to your tutelage.
Well, I appreciate that. And, hearing the, where you were kind of going, not feeling great, not a lot of energy, food as comfort, which, lots of personal experience there before I made my own changes. Liz, can I ask you, what was, this was obviously, you were very supportive of Mike making changes. But can I ask you what, when you were looking at Mike in this particular aspect of his life, what were you seeing as, as his wife, as his partner?
He was very overweight. He would tell me that he was eating well, but I knew he wasn't. Mm-hmm. I knew what he should do, but I couldn't force him to do it. Mm-hmm. I couldn't, there was only so much I could do before he needed to make that decision for his own. And he would tell me, well, but I went for this much of a walk. Okay, that was great, but you needed to go for much more. Or, yep. I didn't eat this much today. well, that's good, but you did eat this type of food, which was not good.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, there were some good choices, but not enough to make a
Mm-hmm.
dent in things. Um, and he hadn't really hit what I like to call rock bottom yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't force him to hit rock bottom. So I had to wait until he got to that rock bottom.
Uh-huh.
And unfortunately, when we lost his dad, that is what hit rock bottom for him. And then he found you, and I travel for a living. So he came and he told me about you and said it was going to be, this much or whatever. And right away I said, yep, that's fine. And he was shocked that I said yes, because he didn't think that I would right away. And I said, no, it's an investment in us and it's an investment in our future. So I'm fine with it. Go for it. Um, and we
Am-
jumped right into it.
Amazing. There's so much going on there. I want to come back to that point, Liz, because that's part of the question I wanted to dig a bit deeper in, with you about, which is your support for Mike to make this decision. But I want to ask Mike, and I really appreciate that you see Mike struggle, and
Mhm.
he's saying I'm doing bits and pieces here, and you're like, yeah, okay, it's good, that is good, but we need to be more consistent. We need more of that. Um, Mike, can I ask you, Liz, did bring up the passing of your father,
Mm.
and that, can I ask you, what was that like for you? What was that like for you?
That was awful. Um, Toward the end of his life, he couldn't move. He had to have people care for him to keep him alive. And it's scary to see that happening to your dad. And then you're like, oh boy, I'm on the same path if I don't do something. So I was making little changes, and those are the changes I knew. I didn't know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's bumping into you and seeing your thing on Instagram was kind of just poetic luck in a way, because it gave me some direction. Yeah, and Liz was right. I was like, I didn't know how she would receive it when I talked to her about the investment and what to do. And but it was so important to have her buy-in that
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'd be this successful if I didn't have it.
Yeah, it's absolutely crucial. There's so many things, and Mike and Liz, I want to say, like, I'm so sorry about, that being a catalyst for you making changes, but seeing your dad struggle, losing your dad, and not wanting to go down that same path. And I think so many people, Mike and Liz, all of us see, our parents, our older family members struggle with things that maybe they could have avoided had they taken care of them, better care of themselves.
Mhm.
And it's it's very, it's not easy to say, but when you are in a proactive position instead of a reactive position, rather than a crisis coming up or a medical event, it is the best place to be to take proactive action there. Mike, can I ask you what were you? I really appreciate you saying, look, I was clinically obese. I was like very overweight.
Mm-hmm.
You said, very low energy as well. On the ground, what else did that kind of quality of day to day life look like? For example, for me, low energy as well. Um, Hated looking at myself in the mirror. Couldn't look at myself in the mirror. Hated the way my clothes fit, very tight and constrictive, because of how big I was getting. And I was still wearing clothes from like 30 when I was 30 pounds lighter, and in denial about what that kind of looked like. I hated how um, out of shape I was becoming, in general, and also for my wife Jackie. I hated that I was becoming this unhealthy version of me. We had met it when I was like 170 pounds, and now I was 220 pounds. This is a 50-pound swing. And I always think about, what was Jackie thinking when I was just, again, it happening slowly. So I'm asking, for you on the ground, what was your kind of day-to-day quality of life? How was it being affected by what were you experiencing because you weren't feeling great or in a good position?
Lots of things. On top of the low energy, it was waiting for the next meal.
Yeah.
You're living for that.
Yeah.
That was your importance.
Yeah.
Uh, just movies, couch time, not doing a lot. If we'd go to swim events, gotta wear a sun shirt because I can't show what I got off. I mean, that looks
Mm-hmm.
terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I that was something that didn't enjoy that. I wear a lot of dark clothes to kind of hide
Mm-hmm.
the weight. Uh, Big sizes. I mean, 2X. I was on the verge of going to 3X. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, holy cow. A lot different now. I'm a 1X in some
Uh,
ways. Yeah.
which I appreciate. So, like, again, can totally, like, again, the um fixation on food, the next meal, portions, seconds. For me, I was eating my kids' leftovers, all the time. It's just always wanting food is comfort. I'm stressed, I'm eating, I'm happy, I'm eating, I'm bored, I'm eating, I'm tired, I'm eating. Okay, so you're not going through the best time, Mike. And you said, you're on Instagram or something, and serendipitously, you came across my account and a post from me, I would assume, and started following you. You reached, can I ask, you reached out? Can I ask you what caught your eye about me? Because especially because I'm like, hey, I help dads carrying 40 pounds plus. You know, you're a dog dad of Riley, love it. But can I ask you what caught your eye for me about this Irish guy that helps dads with carrying 40 pounds plus?
The accent. No, I'm just, it was,
Is that guy
it,
drunk?
it was just, it felt like you had a plan together. It felt like you've been there. So you had some credibility to offer. That it wasn't just somebody trying to scam me and take my money. There was legitimacy there, and I appreciated that. And then upon our talking, it further solidified it that you had a plan in mind. You could get me there. You made promises, to me about how much weight I would lose in the first program. Uh, so that really clarified it to me that yeah, there's something here. It's not just I'm on my own, go to the gym, have a good time.
Yeah.
You were also able to customize the plan. That was the other
Mm-hmm.
thing. Uh, Liz and I discussed one thing that didn't work is we giant joined gyms in the past, but the problem is after that first month, stopped going.
Yep.
Didn't know what to do. Didn't know what
Yep.
equipment to put
Yep.
together, and it was very intimidating.
Yeah.
We gave you a list of stuff that we had. You gave us a list of stuff. If we can get it, would be helpful.
Yep.
And you put together a workout around that, and that got me started.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very appreciative of that. That was a big driver too.
Fantastic. And Liz, I loved, while we're working together, you also like recording Mike in your home gym space, giving commentary
Yeah.
as well. And what, and again, a part of, this, you in this together, Liz. Okay, so I love that, you joining in the gym time and the sessions, and progress pictures, Mike's progress pictures. If you, for you watching, if you go to through my page, I don't know when you'll be seeing this, but you can go and see Mike's progress pictures, which are incredible. Liz, you said, Mike came to you after we had chatted, because I talked to my my people on the phone, and it's like, oh, I gotta go and talk to the wife, and that is like, I totally get it. A lot of the time it's the get out of jail free card. It's the, I don't want to commit, I don't want to make a decision. I want to make changes, but I also don't want to make changes, because if I have to make changes, then I have to make changes. And this is for people that are struggling. So so you said earlier, Liz, Mike he came to you. And again, can you just share a bit what that was like, when Mike was talking about, hey, I talked with this guy, Sean.
Yeah. So I remember the day because I had just flown back from training and it was later. I don't remember what time it was, but I had just gotten in, and so I had basically just dumped off my suitcase and had just gotten into bed, and he told me about all of this, and I'm like, okay, I've just trained all day and I've traveled and all of that. So I've just put in like a 16-hour day, and now you're telling me about this. And I'm like, so I told him, I said, listen, I 100% believe you can do this. So I 100% support you.
Wow.
So if you want to do this, go for it.
Boom.
And he looked at me, he
Boom.
goes, are you serious? I said, yes, I am dead serious. Now, can I roll over and go to bed now? And he
Okay.
goes, yes. I said, okay, I 100% support you, but here's what I do request. The one thing I request is that we don't need to purchase any huge gym equipment.
Mhm.
No big, huge gym equipment. If we need little things, fine, that's fine, but no
Yeah.
big, huge gym equipment. And we're not getting a gym membership. That's not happening. We've tried that. That doesn't work.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, I'm good with anything else.
Yep.
I said, and then give me a list of what you need me to do to support you.
Wow.
So talk to him and ask him, what do I need to do to support you?
Love it.
I travel for, like I said, I travel for a living. So like I'm going to fly out on Sunday. So Saturday when I have to run a couple errands in the morning, but when I get home Saturday afternoon, I will make him meals for all week while I'm gone. So all he has to do is just take it out of the fridge and microwave it. So there's nothing he has to do.
Yeah.
It's all made for him.
Yeah.
So it's just something we've gotten a routine down so I can continue to support him in his own way that
Yeah.
he needs. So all of that was developed as we went through this. And then like those little things, I would go downstairs and I can't do all of the weights and all of that because of just medical things I have going on. So I can't. So I would read books downstairs with him. I would sit on the rowing machine and just kind of slide back and forth on the rowing machine and just keep him company. But it's those little things that you do. But I was there with him through this whole thing because I knew he needed it.
Yeah.
He needed that support.
I love it, Liz. And can I ask you, Liz?
Mhm.
Mike is 252 pounds. He's not in good shape.
Mhm.
There's a but coming in here in the sentence, but you believed in him. And it wasn't like anyone can do this. Anyone can do this. Men or women, dads, non-dads, what, anyone can do this. I have found that sometimes, or maybe frequently, it's understandable. I'm getting off the phone with guys and they go and talk to their partners or the wives, and the wives or partners are skeptical, understandably. Why weren't you skeptical about Mike making these changes? Why did
Because
you
I
why
know
did you
he,
why did you why did you believe in him?
because I know if he puts his mind to it, he can do it.
Yeah.
I knew he had hit that rock bottom
Yep.
that he needed to hit.
Yep.
And I knew he could do it.
Yep.
And I knew that the two of us could get him through it
Mm-hmm.
because that's all that he needed.
Yep.
And I knew he could. And he has.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still losing. And
Mm-hmm.
he will continue to still lose.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not worried about it at all.
Yep.
He's going to be around for a really long time, which is what I want.
Yep.
And that's all that matters. There's no but.
Yep.
I knew it.
Yep. So good. So and like honestly, Liz, like really inspiring. Like your support and love for Mike to do this and your
Mhm.
belief in him was so vital. You could have said, no, scam. And that would not have been unreasonable, given like, hey, yeah, I'm talking to this guy on Instagram, scammer. And then Mike would have continued on and 260 and 270 and whatever. So thank you, Liz, for what you already had there, which was your belief in Mike and love, like again, has led to Mike crushing it, absolutely crushing it. So good. And I'm gonna come back to you. I've got another little. I want to ask you something else. But Mike, can I ask you? Okay, you've talked to Liz. Liz is giving you her blessing, not even just a blessing, a green light. You just fucking do it. What was your? Can I ask you what we worked together for 6 months? What was your experience like? Working with me as your coach on your Isle of Fitness launch program.
I think it was good to have that support and plan. I think at first it's kind of that rope a dope. We're kind of figuring out each other. You're kind of seeing what I'm about. I'm trying to, learn how to do all this and change my life. So having that support was critical so we could make adjustments as we went.
Mm-hmm.
And that showed up, when I do the weights and you review it with me. Okay, you're doing a good job progressing on the scale of weights. Food, okay, you gotta, watch the peanut butter. You gotta watch the salt and make these adjustments to make the plan more successful. So that to me was very important because I didn't know that. I have to learn. I'm still learning about myself. So that was very good. And then as far as like when lifting, there was times where we sent you, okay, I'm doing the exercise this way. Is that correct form? You would give me a critique and let me know yay or nay. And fortunately, most of the time, I think I did okay there.
The ass to grass goblets, I will never forget. This man that I don't know if you ever did goblet squats before, and I was like, fuck, he's got better form. He's got better form than I do doing those goblet squats. Absolutely loved it. Mike, can I ask you? You know, you're talking like I love that. You know and thank you for sharing like the technical support and like making adjustments. And what you said earlier, every client program is the fundamentals in place, habit change and baby steps, but there's also like customized around you, your life with Liz and Riley. One of the things that is important for people looking at me is accountability. Can I ask you, you know, what was the accountability like for you? Where I'm kind of like more than the love and the support and the energy. It's like, okay, we need to. What did that accountability look and feel like for you?
It was
kicked
what
his
I needed.
ass. You kicked his ass. You kicked his ass when he needed it because I couldn't kick his ass. Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah. The pincer, it's the pincer movement, Liz. The pincer, me on one side, you on the other. Boom, we got him.
Yeah, I should move my picture in between you guys there. Yeah. I would say the accountability was, you know, I remember I'm in Wisconsin, so way north of you. It gets really cold, very icy, a lot of snow up here. So during the winter, it's a challenge doing the walking. So you're like, okay, what else do you got? That's not going to be an excuse. You got to find a way to get the steps in. He said, well, you got any malls? You got any big stores you can go to?
Yep.
Well, I kind of improvised. I just walked around the house. I got to know the layout of the house. It's 25 steps from one end to the other.
That was incredible. That was genuinely incredible. I don't know if I wouldn't, I honestly would not have the patience for it. You did that. That was like incredible. And Liz sending me a voice note and Mike, you're literally skipping around the house, and I loved it.
He did.
But didn't you didn't let an obstacle become a roadblock, Mike, and you got it done.
No, and I entertained her when she was on the phone. I would come in as different people. I'd be an airport runway person or realtor. As I'm walking around, I would do that for her.
And for you watching at home or wherever you watch, Mike is an entertainer. He is a comedian, and so this was, you know, I maybe this leads us to the next question, Liz. You know, Mike talked about, you know, or shared at times, you know, this helping like your marriage, and not that it needed help, but just it's strengthening it, and if you know, grow, you know, more love in there. Would that be fair?
Yeah, it did, because it forced us to communicate better and to talk freely and openly with each other, and to laugh more. And like I started walking with him. Like I said, I do have some medical issues that do go on. I've had quite a bit of back work done on me. I've had quite a bit of back surgeries done. So walking is difficult for me, but if he can do it, I can do it. And it's getting so much easier for me to do. And so I walk now too. And I mean, it's so good for me.
Yeah, great.
So if he can do it, I can do it. And so we go for walks together. And
And
obviously Riley loves it. Riley will go for miles if he can.
Was this this wasn't happening before, or not as much?
Not as much. No, I might go around the block, but it would be just a little bit because it hurts, and it does hurt. But listen, if it hurts, just get through it, because there's good on the other side. And there is good on the other side, because Mike's proof there's good on the other side.
Wonderful. I can ask for you, Liz, is it getting easier with the walking? Like,
yeah. I mean, unless like weather gets bad, if a front comes through, then it does still hurt. But for the most part, it is much easier for me to go much longer distances, and I can walk faster, and I can walk much longer now than what I've ever been able to for a long time. So it is much better for me.
I love it. And I love, Mike, you took the reins over this part of your life, and it spilled out into Liz making her own changes as well, which we've talked about at different times too. And both of you feeling better for all the better for it. I love it.
I was relieved you didn't charge us twice for
I'll send the invoice. The invoice is coming, all right? The invoice is coming there tomorrow. Okay, Mike, you sent me some blood work from your labs. Yeah. But before I get there, before I ask you about that, which I loved, can I ask you how you went from us together, you went from 252 down to 207, which is 45 pounds, incredible. Can I ask you how has your quality of life changed and improved after losing the 45 pounds plus now, because you're keeping on going?
It has been better. I mean, I got more energy. I can get more stuff done. We have like a whiteboard on the fridge of things we want to get done. The other night I got like 3 or 4 things done. The old days, maybe 1 item done on the list.
Yeah.
You don't have to nod so hard, Liz. But but it feels good to get that sense of accomplishment too that I couldn't do before. So yeah, I recognize I've come a long way on this now.
Wonderful. How does it feel? And I do want to ask you about the lab results or whatever, but like, you showed me a picture of one of your t-shirts that it did look like a tent, like you were wearing a tent. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I've been slowly retiring those 2Xs.
Yeah.
I think I had maybe one 3X. Jeez. And luckily my neighbor is a little bigger, so he's enjoying them.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's different seeing those on him, but it's good. It's really good feeling that I can wear smaller sizes. I've changed my belt 3 times now.
Yeah.
I think you said, wasn't it like over 50 inches off my body from
it was crazy.
the measurements?
It was crazy.
Yeah. It's very noticeable. Everybody's like, what's going on, Mike? You look a lot different. You even look younger now. And I'm like, because I think that extra weight was aging me faster than it would have been.
And Liz, you took those pictures. Like, Mike looked gray in those first set of pictures, and now he's got color in his cheeks.
Yeah. Every Sunday, sometimes it would have to be Saturday, because like I said, sometimes I fly out Sunday morning. So I would help him measure and take pictures Saturday night, just so that we would make sure we would stay consistent with the program, because that was really important. But I took him every week. And even when we were on vacation, I took him. And we took our little tape measure with us when we went on vacation, because that was important for us. So we took it with us. But he has definitely changed so much. There are a couple large shirts in his closet now, because I've bought them for him. So there are a couple larges, and he fits very nicely into them. We're slowly but surely switching out his dress shirts and dress pants, because those are getting way too big on him now too. And he's swimming in those now too. So we're slowly but surely switching all of that out now.
Liz, besides the clothes, and I love it, it's important and fantastic. What do you see? How do you see Mike? What's Mike looking like, moving around like now these days? Having done this work, how's he showing up for you in your life together?
He's always been there, but he's funnier. He's happier. He sleeps at night. He always used to say he did sleep, but I knew he really wasn't sleeping, and now he sleeps.
Okay,
which is a big difference.
Can you tell me a bit more? You've never shared that. Can you tell me a bit more? What does that look like?
Like before, he would sleep, but like he'd wake up in the middle of the night, or it wouldn't be a deep sleep, or he would wake up tired. Like he'd go to sleep tired and he'd wake up tired. Like he just never slept. And now when he wakes up, he's awake. Like he slept. It's a deep sleep. Like he sleeps now. And that never happened before.
Amazing.
So it's very different now. Um, he has understood what I've always said. You don't have to be a member of the Clean Plate Club. Clean Plate Club is not a club you
Yeah.
want to be part of.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a good thing to not be part of that.
Yeah.
And he gets that now.
Yeah.
And I've learned a whole lot of what is appropriate for
Mhm.
food and
Mhm.
what is not appropriate. And
Mhm.
our fridge looks very different than what it did 8, 9 months ago.
Yeah. Amazing.
It doesn't even look slightly what it used to
Tell
look
me,
like.
please. I would love to know what does that look like for you? What does the fridge look like? What is the difference now?
There is a whole lot of fruits and vegetables in our
Yeah.
fridge
Yeah.
than what it used to look like. There's a lot of chicken
Yeah.
in our freezer, and everything is measured out, and everything is in like 2 portion sizes and
Yeah.
Ziploc bags, and it's labeled and
Wow.
all of that.
Wow.
And it's just very different than what it used to be, because it's good for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just him, it's good for both
Yep.
of us.
Yep.
And that's what our life is now. And it's not something that we've we force on anybody else. It's what we do for
Yeah.
us.
Uh-huh. Amazing.
So yeah.
Amazing. And for anyone like watching this, everyone is different.
Mhm.
And for me, I love that I built the discipline to like I can eyeball portions and I've got discipline in that. And there are times where the clean plate club, absolutely, Liz, I will eat till I'm full and then okay, I'm done. Or my kids' plates, I always finish theirs as well. And now, if nothing can be saved for leftovers, it's going in the trash. I used to be the trash. Um, and I love that you both have now a system in place where it's not just Mike. You're feeling better for it, Liz, as well. And you have a wonderful, your quality of life continues to improve. It's thrilling. It is thrilling. It's not,
Mhm.
it's not the number on a scale per se. It's you feeling better, your energy, you don't have anxiety. Maybe that is affecting your sleep because of you're thinking about the future and physiologically you're not feeling great. All these different benefits is amazing. Okay, thank you, Liz. uh Mike, can I ask you honestly, would you recommend would you recommend Isla Fitness to a friend or family member?
I've already talked to people about it. But the thing is to make it work though, they got to be invested. They got to want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I could mention it, and that alone isn't going to make it successful. They got to want to do it.
Yeah,
I think that would be the one recommendation I have.
you gotta be,
But
yeah, you gotta be.
I know
Oh,
you'll be there, so that's not a problem. It's just will they be there, and will
mm-hmm.
they make those adjustments?
For me, Mike and Liz, I see people that they say they want to change, but when it comes to the crunch, they're not maybe at a place where they will step up, or they want the easy fix. And for again, you watching this video here, there was nothing off the table. Mike ate Whoppers from Burger King. Different treats. Mike, what was one of your treats? The Smuckers. He'd be on the Smuckers caramel sauce. Right there, that's what he's having.
Yeah.
He's down in that after we finish recording here. Okay, like there was nothing off the table, and maybe I'll just ask you about that, Mike. What my philosophy is, this work is sustainable, effective, enjoyable. Would you agree that that is what was your experience on your program?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I could have carte blanche, but I just knew that if I overdid it, I would pay a price. And did I want to pay that price?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I first started this, my doctor, was telling me, yeah, you should get on Ozempic, that quick weight loss stuff, and that's wonderful for some people, but I really didn't want to take a medicine. So that
Mm-hmm.
was also, I should back up. That was one of the drivers too, is I didn't want to have to take something potentially for the rest of my life,
Yep.
whereas I could do this the rest of my life and be, I think, much more happy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like if I go to Arby's or certain places, I know what I can order.
Mm-hmm.
Stay away from the bun. Just go with the meat. Certain you got to make changes to your diet. Like I love a certain pizza place by us. I know I can't do it because it's a thick crust pizza. That's going to just kill my week. So I make better choices now. And yes, you're right. I did go to Burger King. Some of the communities I work in only have limited places to stop
Mhm.
at for lunch, and sometimes it's just not easy to carry a lunch with me. So
Yeah.
I have to
And
order what they got.
and to be fair for you, I think that you're speaking of trade-offs. Trade-offs. There are trade-offs.
Mhm.
There's nothing off the table unless it triggers you into a binge. And I'm giving you a bit of stick, but when you had the Whopper, you would skip the bun, for example. For me, it's not doing no low carb, but it's making, like, if you're going to eat out and there's going to be a lot of calories in it, okay, where's the trade-off that allows you to have that meal but without blowing it over and blowing up your progress for the week on the program? And when it comes to after the program, again, continuing to be disciplined and continuing to pay those trade-offs, because the payoffs are worth it. Liz, very quickly, one of the notes I love from you was, you both went to Hawaii while you
Mhm,
were working. And, you
mhm.
said that Mike was just out and about walking, while you were working. And you said like that is just something, he wouldn't have done before.
No, no, he didn't. Yeah, I was out working and I get random texts from him. I'm at this mile marker. I'm at this mile marker. And I'm like, do you know where you are? No, but I'll figure out where I am. I'm like, okay, let's hope you find
I
your
can
way
walk the whole
back.
island. I'll come
I
into
know.
someone first.
Let's hope you find your way back.
Yeah.
But he did. And ended up he had walked, I think it was what, a mile and a half, 2 miles, something like that.
About
Um,
4.
or 4 miles. Okay, it was 4 miles that he had walked. And I mean, he had never ever walked that far before. And it was a hot day. It was a very hot day. And some Uber driver had stopped by the side of the road, saw him walking, and said, "It's a hot day. Let me give you a ride back." And so they did. They drove him back to our hotel. And so now we have this really funny story about this whole thing. But he was so proud of himself that he was able to do that,
Yeah. Yeah.
because several years ago he wouldn't have been able to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And before that, we had just gone on a cruise,
Yeah.
and we come back from our cruise and he had lost like 2 pounds on a cruise.
Yeah.
Who loses 2 pounds on a cruise? I
Yeah.
mean, come on, that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But he had managed to lose 2 pounds on a cruise, and he didn't deny himself
Yeah.
food. He just was careful with what
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
So he ate what he wanted, but there was a trade-off to
Yeah.
it. So he may have eaten this one thing, but then he chose not to eat this piece of it because
Mhm.
he wanted this piece of it. It was very careful what he did. And it was very wise what he did. Yes, dear, I'm calling you wise. Okay, I'm calling you wise.
And Liz, what
This
even
is being recorded.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is evidence entered into the historical record. Liz, what I love, just what you're saying there. Most people, when they're making changes, either they're binging and feeling like crap, or they're starving themselves, and they're swinging from one to the other, and they're yo-yoing. And this is the in the middle here, where
Hmm.
there is a creamy vanilla in the middle,
There
where
is.
you can have you have a trade off, but
Yeah.
you get to enjoy a bowl of ice cream, but not three
Yes.
bowls of ice cream. You get to
Correct.
enjoy a slice of pizza, but not half the pizza or the whole pizza.
Correct.
So fantastic. Before I forget, Mike, you sent me Mike, me and you have finished up. We're coming up in a couple of weeks since we finished together. You sent me those wonderful. Can I ask you if you're okay to share? The results from the lab work at your doctor's.
Well, I'm not a medical professional, but it did look good. Those numbers all were trending in the right direction. I think I had one high number. I don't recall them offhand, but everything was good. Even the good cholesterol went up.
The good cholesterol went up. The LDL was going down.
Yeah.
Triglycerides smashed as well.
Hmm.
And your blood pressure, your weight, of course, looking happy. Have you talked to your doctor? Has your doctor seen you? Was it not yet?
Not since January.
Okay, okay. So when are you seeing your doctor?
Well, probably next year. It's a once
Okay.
a year. Got to do the
So
physical
your
thing.
doctor
So
did not see you after you've lost 45 pounds plus?
just 20 pounds ish.
Okay, 20. Okay, 20 pounds. Okay, yes, yes. Okay, fantastic. So that's wonderful. And Mike, just again, very quickly before I sort of wrap up here is I joke about O'Shawn pick. where, you know, it's the lifestyle changes instead of, you know, if you can avoid taking medication or pills that you could otherwise, you know, do through lifestyle changes, I'm all for it. I'm not anti-medication or anything like that, but I absolutely believe if you can do something in your day-to-day life that means you don't have to take additional medication, I think that's a positive thing. And I would believe that, I honestly believe, if you put up, you know, 100 guys that are on weight loss pills against one Mike Hawes, you know, on 3 months of, you know, what we've done together, the 6 months, there's going to be no comparison in strength, health, happiness, fitness, energy levels, confidence, because you know, you, with Liz's love and support, you took every friggin' single step doing that work.
Yeah, I was there a question?
There was
I'm
no
sorry.
question. I just wanted you to agree with me. Okay.
Yeah,
This
no,
is
I totally agree.
This is
And
yeah. This is the you've heard it. Have you heard that meme online? It's the one gorilla versus 100 men. This is the one Mike Hawes versus 100 men on a weight loss pill. Okay, who would win? So that there. So, you know, wonderful. Liz, Mike, can I ask you? You know, anything else? Like, honestly, this is like unscripted or whatever. But anything else like you want to add or share? That anything else you want to add or share? Either of you?
I would say the one thing is, you know, as I did my weigh-in, I've been hovering right around that 202 now. So I'm almost at 50 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've dropped a few more pounds since our program ended. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to share that news. You didn't know that.
Fantastic. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that 50-pound milestone text.
I was 0.2 away yesterday. I'm 0.8 away today.
You gotta
So
earn
I'm
it. You
like
gotta earn
right
it. No
there.
celebrate until you hit it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be very exciting. And then, I would say if somebody else is doing this journey, get one of those dumbbells every time you get to a milestone, lift it up, realize how much weight that was dragging on you.
Yeah.
My joints feel much better when I get up. You don't do that over 50 grunt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't have to do that anymore as much. That's a nice feeling too.
Where are you going now? Like, what is the big sort of big long-term goal here now, Mike?
If I can, I'm really rooting for 180. That would be my optimum, I think, weight where I'd like to be.
Yeah.
I haven't been there. I'm going on almost 20 years right now with where I'm at right now.
Incredible. 6 months, 20 years and 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months ish. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and that, you know, hitting 180, that'd be almost 30 years, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Incredible.
It'd be crazy. Be pretty happy with that.
Amazing. Liz, can I ask you anything else that you'd like to share, like that we haven't really maybe talked about, or anything just jumping out at you?
If anyone is going to do this, you can. You really can. But it takes a lot of work. It's not something that's going to come simplistically, but it is so worth it in the long run. It really is. Because you or your significant other or your friend or whoever is involved in it will be so much happier on the other side, because you don't realize potentially how unhappy you are where you are right now. But on the other side, you'll see how much happier you really are. And it just affects so many areas that you just don't realize how much it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
So trust me, give him a shot. He's worth it.
Well, I appreciate you both. You know, before we wrap up here and I stop this recording, like, you know, first of all, Mike and Liz and Mike, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me today. What I want to do is, for people that are looking at me, they're seeing your story, both of your story here, how it has improved your lives and your futures. And, you know, I want, people are like, okay, what's this guy about? What's this Irish Instagram scammer about? And, you know, getting to know the people that I help, support, and it fills me up. Liz, you sent me messages at times during Mike's, you know, work, and I was like, I had tears in my eyes reading it, because, you know, that's not overstating it, but it's not about the number on a scale. It's about just having the best life. And, you know, I want people that are watching me and casting an eye over me to see your story, Mike, your story, Liz, It's absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much. If you're watching at home, wherever you're watching, could be in your office. I help regular people do amazing things through baby step habit changes. No diets, no pills, no fasting, no juicing, and no bullshit. No bullshit. As you say, Liz, what I would say is it's not easy, but it is simple. And the key is that consistency part. And instead of you not eating carbs for 12 weeks, let's take a look at your sleep. Let's take a look at your hydration, get more protein in your diet, and get more regularly active and drink water and practice those no thank yous. And when you do that consistently, you get to have everything that you want. You get in fantastic shape and you'll never look back. Feel free to email me at sean@isleoffitness.com. Check me out on Instagram at Isle of Fitness. In the meantime, Mike and Liz, I'm gonna stop this recording, and I just want to say a final thank you to you offline. So stay on the line. There's so much information out there. You can Google anything that you like, but if you are carrying 40 pounds plus and you need some help and accountability to actually get it done, I believe I'm worth having a chat with. Not give me your credit card number straight off the bat, but having a chat with. And if it is a good fit, like Mike, what's happened with Mike and Liz and Riley, we'll do amazing things together. Let's go. Cheers.